A warm welcome to this edition of the Limelight. My name is Simapolo, and we speak security, especially in regard to the recent attack that happened in Mpondwe, Western Uganda, where suspected ADF rebels made an incursion into the country from the DRC and conducted an attack, a horrendous attack on a school, which resulted into the loss of innocent lives. And it is exactly a week since this incident happened. We need to get a quick update on this particular matter and also answer the questions relating to concerns raised by a section of Ugandans who think that possibly security agencies may not have done good. Let me connect with the State Minister for National Guidance, Honorable Godfrey Kabyanga Baruku, and he is a resident of the area. He has been a local leader in the area. He has been on the ground ever since this incident happened. Welcome to the Limelight. Let's go straight. Honorable Kabyanga, tell us exactly what is happening, especially on the fate of those that were abducted, those that were injured. What is the latest from Kasese?
Yeah, good evening, Apollo, and all our viewers of Sol TV. I think you are all now aware of what happened. Suspected ADF rebels attacked a school, and so far the death toll has reached 43. That real day on Friday, they murdered 42 people, and several were injured. About two days ago, we lost another one old woman who they found on the way when they were retreating. So the death toll now has reached 43. We have buried 26 right now, and 17 were burnt by the rebels beyond recognition. After hacking them to death, they again burnt them in their hostel, and these were mainly boys. We are still conducting DNA on their bodies in Fort Portal, in our referral hospital, Winga, in Fort Portal. As soon as that is done, then we shall match them with the relatives, and then we can identify who their relatives are, so that they also take those bodies for burial. So far, after we got all the statistics of the school, we have known those ones who are dead. We have known those ones who have survived, and right now, today, the division commander, General Dikolum, has now given the final accountability. We can now authoritatively say only 3 students seem to have been abducted, 1 girl and 2 boys, and they are still being traced. At first, we thought they had abducted 6, but now we have realized it was only 3, 1 girl and 2 boys. That's after we have really accounted for all the students who were in the school and the people who are suspected to have been injured. So that is the latest I can give you as far as statistics is concerned. On the operation side, UPDF is pursuing these rebels in Virunga National Park, and I can say they have already identified the area where they are, but and a lot of bombardments have been made there, but they have not yet been able to rescue the children who were abducted, because that rescue mission has to be carefully done. Already, if you hurry up with it, you can easily also injure or even kill the children. So we are UPDF is doing everything possible to see how they can rescue the children, but also they are doing everything possible to ensure they track those rebels and either put them out of action or arrest them and see whether they can be tried. But I would like to inform the whole nation that the suspected killers are terrorists, and any terrorist organization is very, very dangerous, is very, very elusive. That's why we thank our president, as the people staying at the border, for negotiating with His Excellency President Tshisekedi, and also we thank His Excellency President Tshisekedi for allowing UPDF to enter Congo to pursue ADF. Otherwise, if UPDF was not in Congo, I think even the incursion would have been bigger than.
Honorable Godfrey, let's hear you talk about the fate of those who were injured. Have they been given due attention? Are they receiving? Have they been? Have they been admitted to those health facilities that where they can get proper treatment, as some local leaders have been demanding?
The people who were injured, we only have 3 who are still in hospitals. One is at Wera Hospital, another one is in Mulago Hospital, and another one in Chirudu Hospital. The one in Chirudu Hospital suffered several burns, so he's being treated there because Chirudu is a specialist in that. The one in Mulago was badly injured, I think, on the head, and is being catered for. The one in Wera Hospital, he was observed, examined, and they found out that Wera can manage. Actually, Wera remained with 3 patients. One of them was beyond evacuation. They couldn't evacuate her because she was in very, very critical condition. And when the director of medical services was here, Dr. Mwevesa, with the specialists from Winga Hospital and Wera Hospital, they realized there is no way she could be evacuated, and they tried to first stabilize her so that she can be evacuated to Kampala, but unfortunately we lost her. And then one other was discharged yesterday. So we only have 1 patient in the Wera Hospital, and government was catering for all those bills, and is still catering for the bills of all those who are in those 3 hospitals I've mentioned. So what was mentioned in Parliament about so many patients is really not true. However, it was a very regrettable incident. So only 3 patients are still in hospitals. The rest were discharged and they are in stable condition.
Honorable Godfrey, let's go straight to this thorny issue around the concerns that possibly the security agencies did not respond appropriately and effectively before and after the attack. And I don't know, because you've been there for quite a while, you must have picked intel here and there. What can you really tell the nation about this particular concern?
First of all, before the attack, there was some intelligence which was filtering in, and I'd also like people to know that the killings in Congo have been going on even near the border, and our security has been on high alert. There was intelligence which came in, but it did not specify where probably these people would cross from. This border is a very porous border. You can cross from any place. The intelligence which was received by the army, they suspected that probably the attacks would come through Lake Edward, because most of the intelligence which was got was that they would attack Kayanja fishing village and Katwe fishing village, and therefore there was a heightened security and patrols around those areas, but also we are patrolling the border areas of Wera, Mbondwe, and the mountain areas. So it was not really so specific that these terrorists would cross at a particular point. And the border is very porous. Those ones who are familiar with that border, Kasese alone, it can be more than 200 kilometers stretch. So UPDF really can't be everywhere along that border. And you should also understand that the terrorists are also trained terrorists, and therefore they can use any opportunity which comes their way. So I can really say our security was on high alert, but this was a very unfortunate incident. And if I can talk of response after the attack was done. Most of the people estimate that the attackers arrived at the school at 10:45, and they started hacking the children at 11 p.m. at night. But by 12 midday, security was already at the scene. So there was really a response, and we should also you may also need to understand that at first UPDF couldn't trace the school, UPDF and police. The school which they suspected when they reached there, it was not the one. This particular school was remotely unknown. It was really not a very, very prominent school. And so they first went to one school which was a bit prominent called the Nyabugando, till they were told the secondary school. And they call it Peter Hunter, others call it others call it Cobra, which has been changing names over time. So when they got lost about 3 kilometers away from the school. Then again, they were told the school is somewhere else. So that's why it took them about 1 hour to really reach the site. I strongly believe we should at such a short notice.
Honorable Godfrey, you seem to say that possibly this attack was unavoidable, but well, some members of parliament from the area, the local area members of parliament, were unconvinced and still unconvinced that possibly this attack can be avoided. I want to hear from you. Considering that porous borderline between Uganda and DRC, what could be your recommendations to avoid future attacks in case? All right, we will connect again. The State Minister for National Guidance, and he's a born of the area, and he has been a local leader in that particular area, and we hope he understands the geography, he understands the culture, he understands, of course, the people of the area. I was asking, Honorable, what could be your personal recommendations, security measures that should be put in place considering that porous borderline between Uganda and DRC, which has been long exploited by ADF and other rebels?
I wanted to first clarify on one thing, because members of parliament, you said members of parliament seems not true to be convinced. First of all, they have not scanned the place well. They were there on the first day and left. And there is some information they are giving that can be misleading, because, for instance, the barracks which they are saying was 2 kilometers away, the battalion headquarters, it is about 7 to 8 kilometers away. It's true there is a police post about 2 kilometers away, and there is an army detach close to 3.5 to 4 kilometers away. So sometimes someone is saying the nearest police post was 800 meters, which is really wrong information completely. And also, But what I can say, there were also a few gaps that we need to fill. And I think in the future, just as you are saying, what can be done is to up our intelligence and also engage the community in community policing to ensure they can really be more and more suspicious of any suspicious person that enters the area. Because we have spent about 20 years without any disturbance in the area, everybody had somehow relaxed and were basically tuned to business. For us here in Wera, our main source of income is that border, and it is business. So people had relaxed a bit because these rebels walked for about 6 kilometers from the river to where the school.
All right, Honorable Godfrey, our time is fast spent. We thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for that update and that insightful deliberations we've had with you. And we can only pray for peace for the people of Kasese.